good, y'all? Welcome back to Chris and Rock Productions. I'm Chris, and this is episode 4 of DC News by Chris and Rock Productions. So it is Blue Beetle week. We have Blue Beetle coming out on Thursday, I guess Friday officially. So I'll be getting into some reviews and just help promote the movie however way I can. We're gonna get into some Margot Robbie news. You already see it on the screen, as well as some Creature Commando news and the cloud covering Gal Gadot and her future as Wonder Woman for the DCU. So guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get into today's news throughout the week. All right, yeah. All right, so first off, Margot Robbie will return as Harley Quinn in the DCU. So this is not officially confirmed by Margot Robbie or James Gunn himself, but it's just a bunch of leakers and people who've had stuff confirmed in the past are saying that she's officially be coming back. A couple of things. I think this one was pretty obvious. I don't think you move on from Margot Robbie when they're going to be keeping Peacemaker and Amanda Waller. So for me, Harley Quinn was my favorite character in the DCEU. I thought every movie that she was in, even if it wasn't good, like the 2016 Suicide Squad, she was for sure the standout. And then plus she's coming off of Barbie, which has made over $1 billion, and it's now going to be, I think, the highest grossing or most profitable movie for Warner Brothers in the history. So that's really good for them. And as well, it's good for her because whenever they do Harley Quinn again, she's just going to keep bringing more eyes to DC. It's not only just going to be, oh, it's a Harley Quinn movie, it's a Margot Robbie movie as well. So yeah, I just wanted to start that off with that. And let's go ahead and get into this Gal Gadot issue. So she did an interview this week with Flaunt Magazine. And so let me go ahead and go to the top. So it was basically just going through her career, what she's been through, her start and stuff like that. And they asked her about Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman is her biggest role that she's ever done. And this is what she had to say. So, throughout the last few weeks, she's talked about her future as Wonder Woman, about how she's ready to come back, and she spoke to James Gunn. So this is what they wrote, and this is what she said. However, Gal Gadot says she recently spoke to filmmaker James Gunn, who has now moved on from Marvel to DC, and was assured that there will be another edition of the franchise and that she will be a part of it. And this is what she said during the interview. I was invited to a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and what they told me, and I'm quoting, "You're in the best hands. We're going to develop Wonder Woman 3 with you. We love you as Wonder Woman. We've got nothing to worry. You've got nothing to worry about." She said, "Time will tell." Gal Gadot smiles, confident about her future with DC. So she's been, promoting her new movie on Netflix. I forget the name of it, and she can't really talk about that movie because of the strikes. So she's been talking about Wonder Woman. Um, that same day that this article came out, um, let me see. Wonder Woman 3. This came out from Variety. I said Wonder Woman 3 won't fly in the new DC universe despite Gal Gadot teasing developmental plans exclusive. And there's basically in the first paragraph, this is what they said. According to sources I guess close to the in DC studios or close to the situation, a third Wonder Woman film is not in development at DC Studios, nor do Gunn and Safran have plans at the time for any Wonder Woman project in the new DC universe, other than their previously announced Paradise Lost prequel series. So we know Paradise Lost is going to be a show on Max, and it's going to be a prequel to Wonder Woman. So Gal Gadot, she wouldn't even be in it to begin with. So there's a couple of ways you can read this. First way you can read it is, they're going to that they are bringing her back as Wonder Woman, but they're not doing Wonder Woman 3 anytime soon. Or you can also read deeper into this, and basically this is a confirmation that she's not coming back. I am going to read it as we don't know. And I know that, I can't decide whether she is or isn't because James hasn't come out and said it publicly. So the facts of this whole situation, there's a couple of facts that we can all agree on. That she met with James Gunn because James Gunn said it himself and she confirmed it herself. So that's one. Patty Jenkins is no longer going to direct and or write Wonder Woman 3. She's announced it, and James Gunn, confirmed it as well, backing Patty Gunn in her decision to move on from the project. So those are the two main facts. Oh, and also that there's going to be a new Batman and a new Superman. We already have our Superman David Cornsweet, who was casted over a month ago. So this time being, I'm thinking, why would they bring her back? Personally, if you're not going to bring back Cavill or Affleck, Why would you bring her back if you're going to be doing a fresh take on the DCU? Yes, you're bringing back Peacemaker and Amanda Waller, which are characters I absolutely love because James Gunn made me love them. Um, but it just this right here, me personally, would confuse a lot of people. You know, I us if you're watching this, and I myself, we're able to distinguish the DCEU from the DCU, especially when it gets more established throughout the next few years. But the average moviegoer who's just going to go see a Wonder Woman movie, she no, she's gonna be on the screen with other characters, other actors, next to Superman and Batman, and those people who saw her in BVS or Justice League are going to say, "Oh, that's not Henry Cavill. That's not Ben Affleck. What's this?" They're going to get confused. But at the same time, if they're able to write a coherent reason why it's still Gal Gadot, then I guess go for it. Either way, whether she is or isn't going to continue to be Wonder Woman, I'm still going to watch Wonder Woman projects because I love the character. And with that all being said, I think I've been on record saying it. How Gal Gadot, I think she's a wonderful Wonder Woman. I think she's a better Wonder Woman. Her Diana is fine. It's kind of like a Clark Kent situation, but I think whenever she's Wonder Woman, I think she's great. She embodies the character, and she really, she just really embodies the spirit of Wonder Woman. um, but so me personally, would it bother me? No, if they brought her back, of course not, because I really enjoy the character. Right, I have her figure right here from the Shazam movie, so I really love the character and I love her portrayal of it. For the greater good of the audience, would I recast her? Probably yes, because I think it's trying to start fresh right there. But whatever decision they make, whether they bring her back or not, I'm here for it. We'll see what happens. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the whole Wonder Woman Gal Gadot situation. Let's go ahead and move on to some more positive news, stuff that we know is for sure happening. Uh, it's Blue Beetle week, like I mentioned at the top of the hour. Top of the hour. What the heck? We're like 5 minutes in. It's Blue Beetle week. It comes out in a few days. Zola Madanjoya, George Lopez. This is going to be Blue Beetle is the first character in the DCU. Um, so this is kind of like our soft launch into that universe, into that timeline, into that storyline. So Ralph and I, we've been watching Brave and the Bold recently because we wanted to learn more about Blue Beetle, and we just absolutely love Jaime Reyes as a character. And the reviews have been coming out the last few days. I'm gonna get into those as well. It's be zero spoilers, so don't worry about any spoilers. This is gonna be from Hollywood Reporter, and then one review that I really, really liked on Twitter that I wanted to get into as well. So let's go ahead and read some of those reviews, and as well as some implications of Blue Beetle. We first actually forgot. So this is some advertisement going on at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, the Rocky Steps. This is what James Gunn put on Twitter. So that is so cool. Obviously, the famous Rocky scene. Rocky's probably my favorite sports movie of all time. So this is really dope just to have some promotion right there. That's really neat. But yeah, so this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Blue Beetle first reactions are in. My favorite post Nolan DC film. All right, so we've heard that about Flash, but the Flash had mixed reviews for people who also saw it. This one overwhelmingly, I think it's just positive news throughout, or positive reviews throughout. But let's go ahead and get into it. So this is from Steven Wentrob from over there at Collider. He said, "Happy to report, Angel Manuel Soto's Blue Beetle was so much better than I expected. He's adding his own flavor to the superhero genre by having the film focus on tight-knit family and Latino culture. He's fun, extremely funny, and he got away with a few jokes that floored me." So the first thing that I noticed in this review, this quick little reaction, was a tight-knit family and Latino culture. As a Mexican American, I've said it in our past videos, I cannot wait to see this because, you know, there are Latino and like Mexican American Hispanic characters in these superhero genre movies, but there hasn't been an actual like an a lead, like an actual lead. So to have Joel Manandreo, who plays Miguel in Cobra Kai, to have him lead this, I heard nothing but good things about him and his character. So yeah, I'm digging this so far. This is from Vanessa D. She wrote, "Happy to finally share. Blue Beetle is everything I hoped it would be. Angel Manuel Soto filled the film with the heart of Latin culture and focused on the importance of family and believing in yourself against all odds. It's the best film to come out since out of the DCU since Wonder Woman." That's high praise right there because Wonder Woman is regarded as a lot of people's favorite DCU movie. This is from David Betancourt. He wrote Blue Beetle is one of the best movies of DC's modern era, right up there with the first Wonder Woman movie. Fun, emotional, culturally significant, extremely funny. I was blown away. Jaime Reyes absolutely deserves to be part of the new DCU. So that's another positive review. The emotional part, I heard that the story is really good. This person actually talks about the story. So this is from Giffen Schiller. I guess how you pronounce his last name. Blue Beetle is a massive win for DC and an electric introduction to the first hero of the DCU. Zola Manjoya, charismatic star-making performance, confidently anchors the intimate synthwave journey of family heritage and purpose, a fresh and endearing spin on the origin story. So I've heard synthwave in some of these reviews. I read synthwave. They said that the score is absolutely killer. So I already know once I leave the theater, I'm gonna put it on right on my no in my car. So that's gonna be pretty fun to listen to. This is from Genesis O'Neill. She wrote Blue Beetle stands out from previous DC entries. It's mostly due to the Latin flavor. Let's be real. It's funny, emotional, and the action scenes with Blue Beetle are amazing. The cast is beautiful, but Mananjoya and Lopez shine. Can't wait to see more. Congrats, Albori, Angel Manuel Soto, LFG. Let's go. So yeah, George Lopez, his rat tail, I think is gonna be the star of the movie for me personally. George Lopez, he kind of reminds me of people that I've met throughout my life, in like the culture that I grew up with. So that's gonna be pretty fun to see him. And he's my favorite, he's probably my favorite stand-up comedian ever. So that's gonna be fun. And the last one I wanted to get to on this article is just from POC Culture. So this is the one where they talk about the Nolan headline. Blue Beetle is my favorite post Nolan DC film. That's a bold take. There's been a lot of good ones. Like for me, my favorite post Nolan film in DC is The Suicide Squad, the 2021, and then as well as Joker is really really good. Um, what else has come out since then that I think is baller? I really really love Aquaman. That's not critically acclaimed like other films that I mentioned. But I freaking love Aquaman. Anyways, so they said it's an action-packed, highly entertaining superhero story about family, and there's nothing more important than family. Dominic Toretto. The film is that and lovingly and unabashedly shares the Reyes family's Mexican culture. Hashtag or at Blue Beetle. And actually, I really love this poster, the one where he has like his cap and gown on for graduation. Oh look, here's a fuller version. So yeah, I think this are pretty much most of the reviews I wanted to get into. There's one more that is probably my favorite review, and I want to go ahead and show that one right now. But look at this poster. I love this one. This is from. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. We're gonna get into that as well. From Umberto Gonzalez, hashtag Blue Beetle Battalion. Hashtag Blue Beetle is here, and Latinos finally have a superhero of their own reflected on the big screen. The film is so incredibly good, so unique, and delivers on all fronts, giving the superhero genre much needed sazon. The film's tangerine dream-inspired synthwave score also rocks. Like I mentioned, that synthwave score that I've heard a bunch about, I'm gonna love it. I already know. I'm not gonna listen to it beforehand. I want to hear it as I watch the movie. He said much needed sazon. Sazon is a seasoning used in a lot of Mexican dishes. I have a bunch of it in my cabinet in my kitchen, so I love that description. And the last thing I wanted to get into, he said, finally have a superhero of their own reflect on the big screen. Like I've said so many times in our videos, I just can't wait to sit there and just see my culture be reflected on there. The Mexican American household. I'm sure obviously gonna be speaking Spanish, the jokes, just the way that the culture is. I think it's going to be reflected on there really really well. So a few more days, we already have our tickets, I already have my day planned to go see the movie, so let's go. We're going to have a review and everything out. And right here, the last thing is Blue Beetle will include references in Man of Steel. So I wanted to touch on this real quick. I don't want to dive too deep into it because I just wanted to say, so I've read somewhere that someone who's already seen it said there's no reference. I don't know if that's true or not. But personally, I would have just, if I was James Gunn, I would have told the director, Angel, like, hey, can you just cut that out? Because we want to focus on our new Superman. But this is what the director had to say. He said, "We made those references out of honor and respect for the work and art of Zack Snyder from director Angel Manuel Soto. So, if he wants to add it in there, then that's fine. But me personally, if we were building out the world and Blue Beetle is going to be included, I would have just kind of removed those references. But we'll see. Maybe, there's nothing heavy. I just wanted to put my 2 cents into that. A few more things for this episode is Creature Commandos. So Creature Commandos comes out next year. It's going to be the first official DCU project under their house, under their regime. Um, So I think this project. I don't know much about Creature Commandos. I need to buy a graphic novel for them because I want to start reading about them. But I know Frankenstein, Bride, GI Robot, Rick Flag Senior, Doctor Frost versus Weasel, and there's one of these that I'm forgetting the name. I do apologize. But yeah, a couple of things for this show coming out is the amount of episodes have been confirmed. Someone asked James Gunn on Threads, at James Gunn, do you already have an idea for the runtime of Superman Legacy or Creature Commandos on how many episodes it'll be? He simply wrote back, Creature Commandos season 1 is 7 episodes. So season 1, he said 1, we could be getting a season 2, which I hope. 7 episodes, I'm hoping a runtime of 4 hours each. Obviously, I'm joking. Probably it'll probably be like around 40-45 minutes an episode. Probably the finale probably be an hour. But the more the merrier for me, because I want to dive deep into this universe. I want to go ahead and get started into this DCU. And that's why I'm super excited for Blue Beetle, because it's kind of like the soft launch into this next universe. What else wanted I get into? Oh yeah, David Harbour, who's gonna be playing Frankenstein. This is what he had to say about the show. He said, I didn't know what it was when they sent it to me. I met with James Gunn and he laid out a bunch of stuff. It's moving. He considers it one of the best things he's ever written. It's hilarious. Obviously, David Harbour is from Stranger Things. He plays Hopper. He said this as he's promoting his new film, Gran Turismo. I haven't watched it. I don't know if it's even come out yet, if it has or hasn't. I've heard some good things, some mixed reviews, but we will check that out. So yeah, but about this, he said it's moving. Number one, awesome. James Gunn, he said James Gunn considers it some of the best things he's ever written. That that alone just gets me excited because James Gunn is my favorite writer and director. So if David Harbour says that James Gunn thinks it's some of the best stuff he's written, I'm here for it. And the last thing I wanted to get into, the official last thing for this episode, is this article from Screen Rant. I just wanted to go through it real quick. Give my thoughts on some of the movies that they listed on here. So it is 10 unannounced DC movies that will definitely happen in the DCU. So this article is about 10 projects that Screen Rant is going to be predicting that it will be coming out in the DCU that has yet to be announced. Obviously, Harley Quinn from the Suicide Squad, but let's go ahead and get into this list. Blue Beetle. I think this article means a Blue Beetle sequel, maybe. Um, if it does well, it's tracking double to what it was getting predicted over a month ago. So that's really good. That if they do another Blue Beetle movie, I'll be here for it. I want to see the first one, obviously. But let's say this article is talking about the first one, then yeah, that's coming out. All right, next, The Flash. Let's see. To reset the DCU, pave the way. Film poor critical and commercial performance. Yeah, so I think this is talking about a Flash reboot. I think if they do a Flash reboot, it won't be anytime soon because even though I really enjoyed the movie, I can't say the same for a lot of people. A lot of people did not like it, and it bombed in the box office. It's the biggest loss for a superhero movie ever. So, um, I think they'll have to wait a while before they do another Flash movie. And if they do it, I would move on from Barry Allen. Honestly, I would just do Wally West, have to tell his story, how he became the Flash, um, and do like a JLA version of it because I think that's what they're building up to, JLA eventually. So yeah, the Flash. I think that's a good call. Constantine 2. Let's see, proper Elseworld project outside the main DCU. This one I would say no for a Keanu Reeves sequel because it came out in '05. I love Keanu Reeves. I would love him to be Ghost Rider for MCU. That'd be so badass. But for Constantine, I would rather have them do a new take on him because back in February, I made a video about future projects I want to see. And at the top was Justice League Dark. I want to see Justice League Dark with Zatanna, Constantine, Etrigan, Swamp Thing, Boston, Detective Monkey. Just bring everybody into there from that part of the DC. Oh my gosh, a giant advertisement popped up of the DC, and I think in order to do that, you have to have a new take on Constantine. So that's my thoughts on that. Aquaman reboot. I think yeah, they're gonna reboot Aquaman. I think Jason Momoa he'll come back in the DCU, but I don't think he'll be Aquaman. I could be wrong. Jason Momoa has already said he has a future with DC. Gal Gadot said the same thing, so we'll see. But I can't wait for The Lost Kingdom. The Lost Kingdom, it's my second most anticipated movie for the year. So I'm gonna be there day one to watch it. But I think overall they should reboot this after the movie comes out. Gotham City Sirens. Okay, all right, this is a good one, especially after Barbie. made over $1 billion. I think Warner Brothers is going to do whatever they can for this film. I mean, at least for Margot Robbie and her movies going forward as Harley Quinn. If they do Gotham City Sirens, I think it'll be way more successful than Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey had a few things going against it. I think the title was too long, honestly. Marketing was not good at all. And then it came out right when, everything started shutting down. It came out, I think, a few weeks before then, back in February 2020. So it did not help the box office at all. But Margot Robbie coming back as Harley Quinn, it, they're gonna have a project for her. Suicide Squad sequel. I would absolutely love to see a Suicide Squad sequel. Will I think it will happen anytime soon? No. James Gunn's already said he has no plans for it anytime soon, or at least right now, because he has a lot of other stuff he's focusing on, especially Superman. So, what I want to see it, of course, right now, I don't think they will. Green Lantern. Yes, I want to see a Green Lantern movie because we have the show coming out, Lanterns, with Hal Jordan, John Stewart. We're going to be seeing Guy Gardner in Superman Legacy. So obviously Nathan Fillion's going to pop up into that show. You can have Kilowog. That'd be so badass. Will it be better than the 2011 one? Yes, I think it'll be better than the 2011 one. Teen Titans. All right, Teen Titans. I think this is the first one that I would say I don't think this out of all the movies that we've seen, listed so far. I think this one has the least chance of happening. If it gets announced tomorrow, dope. I would love that. I think this is more so like let's establish our DCU first for a few years before we get into any of the sidekicks. But like I know Damian Wade's gonna be in Brave and the Bold. And if they do a Teen Titans movie, then he would definitely lead that team. You could have Troy. You can see you could have just a different types of sidekicks. So yeah, Blue Beetle. Wonder Woman 3, I already got into that. I think eventually they'll probably do it with Gal Gadot or not. But you're gonna do you gotta do Wonder Woman eventually again. That's the Trinity. But yeah, not right now. And I think this is the last one. I think this is the biggest one. Justice League, yes. Like I mentioned, I think they're building up to like a Brave and the Bold, JLA type of film. With our new DCU characters, our new actors. So yes, eventually the goal for every superhero movie like the DC is to lead up to a Justice League movie and do it properly. I think James Gunn's going to do that. Peter Safran's going to do that. So I would say yes. Justice League has, I think Justice League is a fair one to bet on. But guys, that is pretty much it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, guys. We do appreciate the support. And yeah, check in weekly. Well, I'm trying to do this weekly, this DC show, because I love DC and I just want to talk about it all the time. So yeah, until next time, guys, I'm Chris. As always, peace.